Hello everybody, my name is Michael, and in today's video what we're going to be doing is taking this Turtle Folk miniature here and painting it up to be inspired by Donatello from the Ninja Turtles. So if that looks interesting to you guys, please carry on and watch the video. And also one more thing before we get into the video, if you enjoy what I do here, please don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe. It really helps me out and lets me know you enjoy the video. But with all that out of the way, let's get into that video. Okay, so painting our turtle folk here, I'm going to come in with a nice bright and vibrant green, trying to get as close as I can to match up with how Donatello looks like in his normal form. Now, I know this green doesn't look exact, but trust me, in later steps I'm going to make it look a lot closer to how Donatello is traditionally depicted in cartoons and toys and that sort of thing. But I just need to trust the process at the moment. I'm starting off with it maybe looking a little bit more bluish green than straight up saturated green. I want to do something a little bit later that's going to tie everything together to give it that bit more impact. But for now, I'm just giving the base coats to everywhere we can see every part of his skin exposed. So we have the base coat for his skin down. Now it's time to come in for that other iconic piece on him, and that is of course the nice deep rich brown. So I'm going here with an oak brown, and it's going to be whatever type of brown you have available. Now this of course is our first layer, this is our base coat. We're working up hopefully to try and make it look a lot more like how the shells are depicted in the cartoon and stuff like that, but I need that good nice solid base coat, and oak brown is going to be what I'm using to set that color as the nice deepest parts of the shell. So now we have that back of the shell paint up. We want to paint the front part of the shell, and this is actually a different color from the back part, and as you see in a lot of pictures of the Ninja Turtles, they have these nice bright yellow bellies on them. So coming in here with a nice yellow here. Now this is a little bit darker yellow. I'm going with this, so I've got a nice good base coat to work up with, because yellow can be sort of a nightmare to paint up in layers because it can be very low pigmentation. So going with that bit more richer and warmer yellow, it's going to cover a little bit nicer, so I get to save a little bit more on the amount of coats of paint I'm using here to complete this part. Then once we have that complete, I'm coming in here with a emerald type green, and this is a much more vibrant color green, and of course this is going to be for doing our highlights here. So I want to be hitting everywhere where the highest point of the miniature would be, so the tops of fingers, the most pointing out parts of arms and shoulders, that sort of thing, or anywhere where the sun is naturally going to hit. Now I know this is looking a bit different from what you would expect, but I'm going to do a step later on that is going to hopefully tie this together and give it that much more Ninja Turtles green that I'm trying to go for here. But I need to build up my layers here so I can save in the sort of magic step I'm going to be performing a little bit later to hopefully get it a little bit closer to the green I want it to be, because it may be a little bit hard to tell from the footage, but the green isn't quite right. As you can probably see, it probably looks way further off to you guys than it does to me, but I could tell that the color wasn't quite on, and I wanted to get it as close as I possibly could. So what I want to do now is just show you some time-lapse footage of me picking out some of the highlights. So now we have all those highlights complete. It's time for that magic step I was talking about, and that is actually to use a yellow wash over top of our green areas here. And what this is going to do is going to super boost the saturation of our green and tint it enough that it should hopefully look way more like the traditional color once it dries, like the sort of really bright, vibrant green that I'm trying to go for, that the turtles are typically depicted in, or I see in a lot of like TV, toys, and that sort of thing. I just couldn't get that there with, unfortunately, the colors I had, so I had to go with this sort of technique here to boost that color quite a lot. And by adding a yellow wash, you can see it dramatically changes the color of green and really saturates it and changes it to quite a crazy extent. And I think it looks really fun and interesting and a lot closer to the colors that you typically think of when you think about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So painting up the staff that we're going to be doing here, I'm going to be doing it in a different color brown, so it separates it out from the shell of our turtle here. Now, of course, this is what led me to thinking so much of it being like Donatello from the Ninja Turtles. So I wasn't 100% sure if I was going to fully commit to it, but once I started getting this far in the process of like, it definitely looks like Donatello to me, and I just couldn't unsee it, so I wanted to go the full way in here. And as well as that, while I'm painting his staff there, I actually painted up a few other things on him. He's got a few pouches and belts that are on him just around his waist and his stomach there, so I painted those up there in various colors. So there's like a little urn there I painted, and some little pockets and things there, just little tools that he has for his adventuring sort of lifestyle. So up to you what colors you want to paint there. So now we have all those accessories all painted up on him. What I'm going to do now is come in with a brown wash, and this is to use over everywhere that we've painted up that are the accessories and his staff he's using. As well as that too, we also want to paint up his shell in this wash too, but of course we want to avoid using any of this wash that we don't want to spill over onto his skin, because I'm really happy with the way his skin has come out, and it's really got that very turtle-like color. So I want to keep that, so we've got to be very careful here when we're applying the wash, especially since his shell has got nice big folds and creases, very easily for our wash to run down. So be in mind of that when we're painting this up, is to watch over your miniature, wick up any spots or pooling that we have, so that we can try and avoid any of it touching that nice skin that we have completed already. Now we have those areas all completely dry. What I'm going to do is come in with our first highlight now, and this is to be painting up his belly. So I'm actually using the original color, and since we applied that wash in the previous step over his belly, and we're coming in now, and I'm just really picking out the inner parts and leaving the outsides with the wash, it's going to stand out just that much more and just become a lot more vibrant in that spot. So now we've painted up the parts of the shell on his belly. Now we're going to come in with a lighter brown and want to paint up the shell on his back, and this should hopefully, since I'm really focusing on a sort of like a square highlight there and avoiding the very recessed parts and just focusing on the highest points and giving that a nice good coat, it should really look a lot more sort of cartoony and toy-like, and should hopefully bring out that little bit more of the turtle essence that I'm trying to go for here by making it really pop out in your face. Because that's what I definitely want to do with this paint job, is to boost the saturation of everything, because I try to do everything normally sort of a lot more realistic in terms, but when I seen this model and the way it was, I couldn't help myself, and I wanted to try and go for a fully saturated color palette and really give it the essence of a turtle from Ninja Turtles there. So hopefully it's coming off and looking a lot more vibrant than I usually do. A lot of my paint jobs being that a lot more realistic. So this one here I want it to be like super bombastic and really stand out for when it's on the tabletop. And now we have that shell all done. We're going to come in now with, of course, Donatello's signature color being a purple. And for me, the closest one I had was this one here. So it's totally up to you what type of purple you want to go for. I know he's had a bunch of different purples over the years. So totally up to you. I'll try to get as close as I could to his sort of most iconic color here. And for me, it was this one here. And you can see just immediately all tying it together. As well as that too, I also want, he's got this nice scarf that's on him. I also want to paint up some other little areas. He has of course the parts on his staff, so I want to pick those out as well. And he also has some beads there because he's technically a monk turtle folk. He has these nice like ceremonial beads on the side of his pouch there too. So I'm going to be picking those out as well, as you can see. But I don't know how they couldn't see, the people who made the miniature there, to see that this just reminds me so much of Ninja Turtle that they didn't think the same thing here and give sort of like a cheeky little wink and nod to that, I think. But I couldn't resist, so that's why I had to paint it up like this, and hopefully you guys are enjoying the tutorial itself too, in case you want to do this, or just enjoying how the miniature's looking at the moment. And then once we've got that completely done, what I want to do now is I'm going to come in with a purple wash, and this is going to make it a little bit closer to the Donatello colors, but also giving nice darkness for the shadow areas as well, to really get into all those nice folds and recesses and really help make this miniature stand out just that little bit more. As well as that, once the wash is completely dry, you want to come in with our original color, or maybe even a slightly lighter color, and come in and do some highlights here. Unfortunately for me, the footage that I had for doing the highlights sort of corrupted, and I wasn't able to get it back. But just know that I went in and picked out some of the highlights after this wash step was completed. So with all that, that is our Turtle Folk miniature all painted up. So let's get into the glamour shots and see how this miniature came out. And there you have it. With all that complete, we have painted up our Turtle Folk miniature to be inspired by Donatello from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So I hope this video has been helpful for you guys, whether you want to follow along with what I did here, or you just want to use this video as some inspiration in painting up your own miniatures. But with all that said, guys, I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I can't wait to see you all in the next video.